Now, as the global job market continues to languish, those hunting for work may have the most luck in emerging markets. That's according to the latest report from Manpower, who say that the strongest job prospects are in China, Taiwan and India. So much so, a talent shortage could become a problem. The outlook for China is the strongest, though, since Manpower began the survey more than 5 years ago. Employers there reporting the strongest hiring intentions of any country in the poll. Of 36 countries surveyed, less than half showed an improving employment picture from the previous 3 months, and it's here in Europe that the picture is bleakest. The countries with the weakest prospects being Greece, Italy and the Czech Republic. While for the UK and France, the report says there's cautious optimism, hiring intentions remain flat. Finance and business services jobs have notably picked up in both countries. For the Americas, while hiring is forecast to be strongest in Brazil, that contrasts strongly with the US, where economic concerns continue to weigh on employers. Almost 3/4 said they won't be taking on any more staff. Joining me now is the president of Manpower's Corporate and Government Affairs, David Arkless. Thanks very much for coming to speak to us. And I just want to pick up on where we left off with the Americas. Why isn't the US jobs market recovering faster?
Look, what's happening with the recovery in jobs is a direct reflection of the economies that we see around the world. The US is coming slowly out of this because it's essentially become a service economy. Manufacturing has been shifted out of the US. Right through this recession, they've put jobs in places like Mexico and Brazil. Jobs are not being created in the US despite the stimulus package. If we look across into China, which has had resilient growth throughout the recession, that's pulling exports in from the more successful job markets in Europe, which is Germany and Switzerland. They're producing goods, the heavy engineering goods, which are making machines in China, and so they have recovered faster. The service strong mix economies are not recovering as fast worldwide.
It's interesting you mentioned the stimulus package there in the US. What, if anything, can be done to spur job growth in that country?
It needs a bigger stimulus, frankly. The stimulus won over $1 trillion, invested most of all in some infrastructure, maintaining government jobs, which is not the way to stimulate an economy. I like the new measures outside of the $50 billion stimulus package for infrastructure, supporting R&D and supporting the development of small to medium-sized enterprises. That will create jobs in the US.
And the prospects seem to be bleak, grim in Europe.
It's a mixed story, frankly. If you look at places like Germany and Switzerland, strong export economies, engineering, their jobs markets have done really well. They're a good mix of manufacturing and services. The southern European countries that got hammered in the recession, where we got up to 30% unemployment, don't expect them to recover anytime soon or quickly.
And were you surprised that the strongest job prospects were in China, Taiwan and India?
Not surprised at all. China survived through domestic kind of consumption and investing its own stimulus package inside of China. That economy is pulling in exports and skills from the countries around it, so the job markets are pretty lively there.
But that could be counterproductive in the long run. You're saying that that could actually result in a talent shortage?
It absolutely is. In China right now, there are hundreds of millions of people marginalized in the countryside that want to go to the cities, but they just don't have the right skills. And conversely, the 200 major cities of China can't grow their economies as fast as they want because they can't find the right skills in the right place at the right time.
David Arkless, good to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming in, Senior Vice President of Manpower.